Alright, let's do one last example. So I've got 4x cubed plus 18x squared plus 14x equals 0. I'm going to start by looking for a GCF. They are all divisible by 2x. Remember, when I factor out a GCF, it's like the opposite of distributing. So what's in the parentheses, you figure out what would I distribute 2x to get 4x cubed plus 18x squared plus 14x. In this case, that is 2x squared plus 9x plus 7. Now the part that's left in the parentheses, that is a trinomial. So I'm going to come off to the side here, and I'm going to factor that trinomial with our grouping method. Remember, this is where you do a times c, and you figure out what b is as well. A times c would be 2 times 7, which is 14. B would be 9. Trying to think of the two numbers that multiply to 14 but add up to 9. Remember, you can make a list if you have trouble thinking of them. So 1 times 14, that's not it. 2 times 7 multiplies to 14 and adds up to 9. So I rewrite my trinomial, but I replace the middle term. Instead of a 9x, I replace it with these two values we just got. So a 2x and a 7x. And then I group the first two terms and group the second two terms and factor out GCFs. So 2x squared plus 2x, that has a GCF of 2x. Factor that out. Copy the plus sign. 7x plus 7, that has a GCF of 7. Factor that out. Now I've got common binomials, so I'm going to factor out the x plus 1. That leaves me with a 2x and a plus 7. So 2x squared plus 9x plus 7 factors into x plus 1 times 2x plus 7. So I'm going to plug that in. I've got the 2x from before, and then this trinomial factors into the 2x plus 7 times x plus 1. Now I've got three things multiplied together with an answer of 0, which means one of them must be 0 if I'm using the zero product property. So I'm going to set all three of the factors equal to 0 and solve each of them. So for 2x equals 0, I would divide both sides by 2 and get x equals 0. For 2x plus 7 equals 0, first I would subtract 7 from both sides, and then I would divide both sides by 2, so I get negative 7 halves. And for x plus 1 equals 0, I would subtract 1 from both sides, and I would get x equals negative 1. So I did get three answers. Remember earlier I mentioned that whatever your highest exponent is, that will tell you how many answers you should get. That's kind of a quick check for you. So I knew I should get three answers. I did get three answers. I can also take those three answers and plug them all into this original problem and make sure that I get 0 equals 0 each time, which I do. So that would be another way to let me check my work.